I'm Stephanie Carey, and today I'm going to be cooking a roasted duck breast stuffed with cream cheese and arugula and walnut, and then we're going to finish it off with a lovely cherry port wine sauce. So we're going to get started with our duck breast. Now, as you can see, this is a piece of duck breast. It's darker than chicken, and it has a really, really thick layer of fat. That fat is delicious. Do not be deceived. So, because we're going to be stuffing this duck breast, we are going to cut a really, really, really nice pocket in here. Now, you want to use a really sharp knife because you don't want to cut yourself. You also don't want to cut all the way through. Remember, you're just cutting a nice pocket for that delicious cream cheese and arugula walnut mix to go in. So, we have a pocket here. And just make sure that you get a good cut through on it. Now we're going to go ahead and work on the stuffing. This is the good part. It's so delicious. We're going to mix 1/2 cup of walnuts. And I just use regular English walnuts. And then you're going to take a cup and kind of pack it with arugula. Now, why do I use arugula? You know, you could use spinach or any other leafy green, but I really like arugula because it's got a really nice peppery flavor to it. This is so delicious. So, then I'm going to go ahead and hit it with just a pinch of salt and pepper. And we're ready to blend. Now, I used to not make things when I saw that it used a food processor because I didn't have one. So if you don't have a food processor, you could always chop up your walnuts separately and your arugula and make it do. But the food processor does make this easier. Alright, so you just want to chop it so it's nice and fine. And then you're going to take it and you're going to put it into your bowl. There's no real science to this. Alright, now for the good part. You're going to take 2 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese. And what I really like is that you can actually buy it in the box, and the ounces are already measured for you, so you don't even have to think about it. Alright, so then you're going to take your spatula, and you're just going to mix it all together. And this is such a great flavor. So go ahead and stuff that nice in there. You want to really, really, really get that stuffed as far in there. Use your thumb. Alright, so I like to press the toothpicks in starting from the meat side, not the fatty side. And I'm just going to crack my toothpick in half here. And then I'm going to really get it in there nice and good. You're going to want to get about 4 toothpicks in here. Now, the thing about when you cook and you wrap meat and you use toothpicks, you definitely want to remember how many you put in each piece of meat, because if this is a special date night meal, there is nothing romantic about your date getting a big bite of toothpick in their duck breast. That is not romantic at all. So we're ready to go ahead and get these into our pan. Now, unlike most times when you're going to sear meat, this pan is not on yet. So what we're going to do is start it out at nothing. And I'm going to turn it on now. I just turned it on. And then I'm going to let it slowly sear. This duck fat is going to render into a nice liquid form. And once it's done that for about 10 minutes, I'm going to flip them and do it again for about 3 minutes on the meat side here. So we'll check back in after it's been about 10 minutes. We have been cooking our duck breast fat side down. We started on no heat and we brought it up to a medium and low heat. And now we're about ready to turn them over. But before we do that, we want to very carefully, so we don't spill out all of our delicious cream cheese filling, take them out for a minute, because as you can see, they have rendered off some beautiful duck fat. So what you want to do is just pour it out. Make sure you're not pouring it into plastic or something that can melt right away. Just get rid of a little bit of it so that it's not quite so heavy. And then you're just going to take these carefully and put them meat side down this time. Look how beautiful that skin is. Meat side down for about 3 minutes. When we come back, we're going to be putting these into a 400-degree oven to roast for about 6 to 8 minutes, depending on the size of your breasts. And then we're going to be close to making our pork cherry sauce. Stick around. And now we're going to pop this into a 400-degree oven for about 6 minutes. Going in now. When it comes out, it'll be delicious. While the duck breasts are cooking, you can go ahead and make your sauce. In the same pan that you use to pan roast your duck breasts in, you're going to deglaze it with a port wine. This is going to be delicious. The difference between a port wine and a regular wine is that a port wine is a little bit higher concentrated in alcohol, and it is made in a certain region of Portugal. Now to this port wine, I am adding dried cherries, about a half a cup here. Then to the whole thing, I'm going to add a a full cup of chicken stock. The difference between a chicken stock and a chicken broth is typically your chicken stock is made with the bones of the chicken versus the meaty parts of the chicken. And that's going to give it more of a thickening agent to it. So this is going to allow it to thicken up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to mix this up. Let's give it a quick stir. And while our duck breasts are roasting, this sauce is going to boil and simmer away for that 8 minutes that the duck breasts are roasting. And it is going to be delicious poured on top of our duck breasts. Our pork cherry sauce is reducing to a delicious topping for our duck breasts, stuffed with cream cheese and arugula and walnuts. And now we're ready to take out the duck breasts from the oven, and they have cooked up really nicely. Now, if you're not quite sure about the doneness of the duck breast, you want them to be somewhere between 160 and 170 degrees. So I'm just going to take its temperature really quickly here. All right, it's telling me that these are well done. And by well done, I mean done to the finest, not well done as in you would want your steaks well done, if that is the kind of steak you like. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and get them on my cutting board, but I'm not going to cut it quite yet. I'm going to let them rest for about 10 minutes so that when I cut them, all of the beautiful juices and duck fat doesn't leak all over everywhere. So these are just going to rest up, and then we're going to plate them and cut them. Or cut them and plate them. Our duck breast has been resting for 10 minutes. And you know what? While I was waiting for the duck breast to rest, some very, very hungry guests of mine could not wait for it to rest. So the other one has mysteriously disappeared. But we're going to go ahead and cut this on the bias. And you know, you could plate it like a piece of chicken or a whole breast of duck right there. But why would you do that when you can go ahead and serve it and plate it like this? So I'm just going to cut a couple of pieces here just to show you. And that cream cheese is so good. Ooh. Well, I'm going to go ahead and plate it here. Beautiful duck meat. I'm going to go ahead and give it a sauce, which we made with the port wine and chicken stock and dried cherries. And now I'm going to try it before anyone else gets their hot little hands on it. That cream cheese and arugula mixture is just going to be so delicious. So here we go. Mmm. Paula, I know you like your butter, but duck fat is delicious, especially with cream cheese. I'm all out of time. Don't forget that cream cheese is more than just for breakfast.